Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're in Peter today, lesson to lesson. I think this is episode 3. I got done not recording, I got done editing Koharu and I'm like, I need to play Jupiter. So I have a feeling that while we're playing Jupiter, it's going to be like, Jupiter is going to come out like 2-1 to 9 rip, because I don't know. I mean, it's a good route. So the ratio has changed. It was 9 rip like 2-1, but then I tried to keep them going at the same time. And then now Jupiter is more important. Mostly because in Koharu's route right now, it's kind of slow going, so nothing's really happening in his route. They're just developing a relationship, which is cute too, but it's not as entertaining as Jupiter. I think because there's just the humor aspect to Cupid Parasite, and the humor, there's not a whole lot of humor in 9 rip. Misa can say some pretty funny things, but it's few and far in between. So, and Peter is funny all the time because he's just awkward all the time. And he's a god, so he's kind of naive in the ways of humans too. Anyway, soon we found ourselves at Mo Donuts. We both ordered the morning special. It came with a buttered pretzel, a chocolate mint donut, and some coffee.
はい、お待たせしました。
Wow, that looks delicious.
おお、これはいい匂いだ。
He's like passionate about everything he says too, so everything he says is entertaining to me. Let's eat. 2 of us enjoyed our breakfast. We tasted a bit of something salty and something sweet, plus the bitterness of the black coffee. Oh yeah, they tried to have a romantic moment last night, and Peter made her faint. And so they're trying to get their minds off of it by going out to breakfast.
うまいな。食べに来てよかった。
Peter's awkwardness was obvious. His movements were stilted as he munched on his donut. I just focused on my own food. Yes, it's really good.
ああ、それにしても今日も冷えるな。
I looked out the window just as Peter did and noticed the light snow turning heavy. It was rare for Los York to get this much snow. Because of that, buses often suspended their services. You're right. I thought it might be better to head home soon before public transit got suspended. The idea of being trapped at home alone with him right now made me feel restless.
雪が激しいな。だがこのまま帰るのだけは気まずいし、どうしたものか。
He's thinking this out loud. I think my gain's actually a little bit high. I was adjusting my audio gain for the game, but he's kind of going in the reds. Let's turn him down just a little bit. Peter mumbled to himself as he nibbled on his donut. It seemed he was thinking the same thing I was. I also felt too embarrassed to go home right away. I wasn't confident that I could keep up the act of pretending nothing happened the night before. So I ate my breakfast as slowly as I could. I looked outside and watched the snow fall while savoring my donut. I figured that it would be cold today too. You guys should stop being awkward. You guys have been married for a year. For breakfast, with no particular destination in mind, we wandered around Los York. Being in our home would remind us of last night. Neither of us knew how to dress it yet. I didn't want to be the one to suggest we go home, so after breakfast we just started walking around. He didn't leave me at home to train by himself either. He probably thought that would be inconsiderate of him. Good. At least he's being considerate sometimes. He remained beside me, but still kept a respectful distance. The tension between us was palpable.
しかし 12月とはいえ今日も寒いな。
I felt relieved that he tried to strike up a conversation. I looked up at him and saw my breath rise, weaving through the powdery snow. Yeah, we lived in Lost York for only about 4 years, and it's never been this cold, has it?
ああ、そうだな。
This is so awkward. It was even colder than I anticipated. Definitely not the right weather for a stroll. Peter, it's pretty cold. How about we do something indoors? Maybe watch a movie or something.
そうだな。そうしよう。それがいい。うん。
Hey, just talk about it. Jeez. We headed to the subway station to escape the cold and took the train to the theater on 2nd Avenue. On the train, we sat beside one another, but another awkward silence enveloped us. With no other passengers on the train, the silence was deafening. We occasionally stole glances at each other. The train jostled as it moved, causing our shoulders to touch. Peter jumped as if he'd received an electric shock.
すまない。
It's okay. I felt like deja vu. I thought about when I'd last felt this way. It was the day after we'd kissed for the first time back when I was in college. It was just like that time, despite the awkwardness. The thought of it made me feel cheerful. That was why I... Okay, so the answer for this one is felt a bit embarrassed, but we're going to laugh first. I laughed.
どうした？
It just laughs all of a sudden. It's no big deal. I just remember something from our past.
前に？
Yeah, the day we first kissed. Do you remember?
言われてみればそうだったな。あの頃から私は何も成長していないのか。
I haven't matured one bit, I know, right? But it kind of makes me happy.
嬉しい。
Should I go up yet? Yeah, it's comforting to know some things remain unchanged. I think we can. The music started, so probably. Alright, felt a bit embarrassed. I was embarrassed remembering that moment. I couldn't meet Peter's eyes, so I stared at my hands. Remembering it is a bit embarrassing. How were we able to go back to talking normally back then? Am I overthinking? Should I just forget about that memory? No, I can't do that. It's a precious memory, but... Lost in thought, I fanned my face, trying to cool my blushed cheeks.
暑いのか？席変わるか？それとも体調が悪いのか？降りた方が良ければ。
Oh my goodness, he's freaking out. No, it's not that. Peter looked at me with genuine concern. The tension I felt suddenly melted away, and I grinned at him.
どうした？笑ってしまうほど腹具合が悪いのか？
No, I'm completely fine. I was just thinking about a past moment. It made me feel bashful. It was the day we kissed for the first time.
言われてみればそうだったな。あの頃から私は何も成長していないのか。
But it kind of makes me happy.
嬉しい。
Yeah, it's comforting to know that some things remain unchanged. Whether in Celestia or back in the human realm, time had a way of changing everything. Cupid and I were gods, so we were destined to live forever. But I wondered if time would cause us to change too. But for now, I wanted to celebrate the things that hadn't changed. I wanted to be able to walk side by side together forever.
リネット。
His voice sounded soft when he murmured my name. Even though things still felt awkward between us, I placed my hand over Peter's. He flinched but didn't pull away. Instead, he blushed and looked down.
Chii.
He was awkward about it, but he tenderly reciprocated my gesture. It was a different energy from yesterday. I sensed his hesitance, but felt the kind warmth of his hand. Eventually we reached the cinema, however.
何やらカップルが多いようだな。
There were couples all around the venue holding hands. Peter looked visibly anxious. Hey, they're having a couples day event.
カップルデー？
See that sign? Couples get a discount.
そうか。まあ、そういう文化も良いものだな。
Moo. You know what? I think the gain is still high. Hold on. Peter looked at me with his cheeks slightly flushed, trying his best to smile. While it was still awkward, that subway ride had helped dissipate some of the tension.
では、見る映画を決めるとしよう。
Sure, what are our options? I looked at the list of titles and froze. Almost all of them were romantic movies. I guess it's because it's couples day. 6 out of 7 movies were romantic movies. The last one was obviously a scary-looking horror movie. How about this one? I avoided mentioning the horror movie and pointed out a seemingly easy-to-watch romantic movie, but Peter shook his head.
チーだが NC-17 とあるぞ。
We can't have spicy scenes. What's NC-17?
確か17歳以下では見られないという意味だったはずだ。
How does Peter know about this and not you? Huh? Really?
以前二人で映画を見たときに調べて知ったことだ。
Oh, that explains it. He watched a spicy movie in the last game and he just couldn't handle it.
NC-17 はノーチルドレンアンダー17を短縮したもので。
The fact that that was in English was really cute. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Peter was blushing as he faltered his way through his explanation. It seemed like NC-17 movie we watched before had left an impression on him. I know, right? It didn't seem like that kind of movie from the poster, but if there's more than just a kiss, it might get awkward.
チー他のものも軒並み推奨年齢が高い。ではあれを見よう。
Hey, just go home then. I would just go home. Oh my goodness. Zombie Bazaar X. Peter pointed at the only horror movie in the lineup titled Zombie Bazaar X. The poster had a close-up of a zombie's face.
ほら、こちらの方が面白そうだぞ。
You don't sound very convincing. Really, but it's clearly a horror movie.
実に面白そうだ。チケットを買ってくるぞ。
Try to turn into Chii during it. He's gone. He would normally run away at the mere sight of that poster, but he had already gone to buy the tickets. It was true that it'd be awkward to watch a romantic movie right now, so I felt a little relieved. So I heard on Instagram that this was super scary. Zombie Bazaar X was apparently the 10th installment of the series of popular zombie thrillers. Well, I guess this could be training for him too. Although he'd been doing most of his training solo, our purpose in the human realm was still to help him overcome his fears. And so Peter and I ended up watching the horror movie Zombie Bazaar X. Oh my goodness. When the movie started, Peter was already pale. He held back screams many, many times.
Oh my!
There were highly intense scenes back to back that caused Peter to cover his face from the screen. He's getting squeakier. Oh no, there he goes. A much larger zombie popped up, unable to bear it any longer. Peter finally turned into Chii. It was too much. His voice actor is so good. After the movie, we headed to Happy Forest Cafe for a break. We both ordered a cup of cafe au late. Cafe au late. I can't say that either.
温かいものを飲むとやはり落ち着くな。
You're so right. And hey, it looks like your training's working.
そうか。最後まで耐えられなかったが。
You only turned into Chii during the climax. I think that's a new record for you.
そうか。そうだといいのだが。しかし、すまない。最後まで見られなくて。結末はどうだったのだ？
You sure you want spoilers?
まさか、怖い終わりだったのか？
I don't think he's gonna watch it again. I guess you could say that.
ならばやはり言わなくて大丈夫だ。
Peter's body shivered as he wrapped his hands around the mug to warm up. He has such a large build, yet he was always so skittish. But I felt more at ease seeing him this way because the awkwardness from last night was finally starting to dissipate. Since Peter was back to embracing his Chii side, we could keep things the same as before. Huh? Wait, I know, you don't want things the same as before, right? But I felt relieved. There was this nagging sensation that something was off. Is it really okay for things to stay the same? No, don't be awkward. Like, do you not want to be romantic with him? On the subway, I was happy that some things never changed. Why did I feel so sad about it now?
リネット、どうしたのだ？
Huh?
あ、そうか。お前も怖かったのか。気づかなくてすまない。
It's not that. I'm totally fine with horror movies.
平気なのか？あれが怖くないと。
Yes, I was excited because it's been a while since I've seen such a fun movie.
ワクワク？
I actually like that director's movies. I'm happy we watched it together.
それは何よりだか。本当に怖くないのか？あれが出てきて襲ってきたらと思うと怖くならないのか？
That'd be freaky, but if that really happened, we have our divine artifacts.
いや、そうなのだが。
Speaking of, what is Jupiter's divine artifact? Is it really a lightning bolt? Like, I don't think that would be an artifact, would it?
チー、彼女の方がよっぽど神らしいではないか。なぜなのだ？
Peter sighed and took a few sips of his cafe au lait, holding it with both hands. That was the usual Peter I knew. He buried the wild side of himself and reverted to the Peter I knew that was just like Chii. But the side of Peter that I'd witnessed last night was also a part of him. Since then, we still hadn't spoken about that day. We didn't return to Celestia, nor did I suggest we do anything that was more fitting for a honeymoon. I lacked the courage to break our routine. Every day I would watch Peter leave for his training while I stayed home alone. We acted as though that day had never occurred, and I tried hard to forget about it. Days passed by without incident. That's boring. Something needs to happen. Then let's go to bed.
ああ、そうだな。では、明日も特訓を頼んだぞ。
Yes, you got it.
では、おやすみ、リネット。
Peter and I exchanged smiles and waves as he headed to his room. You really sleep in different rooms. He's gone. I stared at the closed door in front of me. Even though we pretended nothing had changed, it clearly had. When we first arrived in the human realm, we shared a bed because we were married. We would even kiss now and then. But after that day, Peter began to sleep alone. He stopped kissing me on the lips. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with you? He would still kiss my forehead or cheek, or sometimes give me a hug, but every action felt forced. It was obvious that we were both trying to avoid being intimate with one another. I wonder if we'll ever sleep in the same bed again. To be honest, I love to hold Chii in my arms or nestle in Peter's embrace, yet I lacked the determination to address the situation. I still lacked the courage to discuss that night with him. That was why I couldn't bring myself to suggest sleeping in the same bed once more. Well, we're only 23 minutes in. Like, I swear, I want to read this until something happens, even if it goes over an hour. I'm so sick of them just postponing the talk. Like, in all the reads where they have to have a talk, it just prolongs it. But what am I supposed to do? I couldn't keep avoiding this forever. We were married, and more importantly, we were gods. We'd eventually have to return to Celestia and watch over the human realm as husband and wife. We had to sort this out before then. I was lost. Marriage was more complicated than I thought. What did it even mean to be married? I was supposed to be the god of marriage, and I was formerly the god of romance, but I was clueless. I know. He's together. He's like, this is like his safe haven. I retreated to my room and flopped onto my bed.
今日もなんとか一日を終わらせることができた。
Thanks to my training, I can now complete the highest level bungee jumps without turning into Chii. At this rate, I would be able to lead Celestia as a fearless god once we returned. I think he was waiting to become a better man before he tried to go back to Lynette. But that was before they had this intimate moment too. Like, he's afraid of defiling her, I guess. He's afraid of his instinctual emotions, I guess the best way to put it.
だが、今深海に帰ったとして、彼女とうまく話せる気がせぬ。
Everyone in Celestia knew that we were a married couple, so they'd expect certain behavior from us. Still, I was too scared to kiss her, and I was uncomfortable with the idea of being Jupiter and Juno in name only. Well, you gotta pick one. You can't have both. I was worried that that was what she truly wanted.
情けない話だ。これほどまでに彼女を愛しているのに。
And yet you can't touch her. My heart fluttered whenever I thought of her. I had an urge to bite her, and it ached. Always to bite her, though. I suppressed this feeling and retained my composure. I did not want to become like my brother.
私にも、やはり、あのように獰猛な本性があるのだろうか。
We looked nothing alike, but we were twins. My brother always chased after his desires without restraint. Was I any different?
リネット。
There is a difference. It's called lust and love. If I gave in and acted on impulse, I'd regret it. I needed to show restraint. All I wanted was her happiness and her smile. That was my deepest wish.
だが、いつまでもこのままでいることはできぬ。
It would have been easy to push her away, but that would have hurt her even more. This awkward limbo we ended up in wasn't working. It had to be resolved eventually.
マーズやヴィーナスに相談をすべきだろうか。
Oh? The thought of consulting other married couples in Celestia crossed my mind, but I dismissed that thought immediately. It wouldn't help. Like the gods depicted in mythology, they all acted on their desires. They would not provide a solution.
こうなったら、人間の中の有識者に聞くか。
I pulled out my smartphone and pondered for a bit, then I dialed the number for a certain person. Who is it? I avoided this issue for so long, but I finally decided to do something about it. Thanks to my training, I've been able to avoid turning into Chii, so I was ready. This problem needed to be addressed. Who is he calling? I'm so curious. The next morning, it better not be Gil. While eating breakfast, we put on the news as we usually did.
Unusually for Lost York, the cold days have continued. All transportation is being strongly affected by the snow accumulating day after day.
Not to newscaster. Peter watched the news with a blank look in his eyes while cutting up his pancakes. He was chewing normally, but he seemed a bit drowsy to me. Peter, are you okay?
何がだ?
You sound drowsy. You just seem tired. Did you sleep well last night?
大丈夫だ。何事もないぞ。 すべてがいつも通りだ。む。
He's so unenthusiastic. It sure doesn't seem that way.
それより、今日の特訓についてだが。
Just as he was about to change the subject, Peter's phone suddenly buzzed. He glanced at the screen and blinked a few times. I could sense a mix of emotions from his expression. What's wrong?
いや、ラウルから連絡が来たのだ。今なら空いているか。
You're asking Raoul, the person that sleeps around the most and is most like your brother? You're asking that person? Oh my goodness.
すまないが、休養ができた。少し出かけてくる。はっ。
Oh my goodness. Peter opened his mouth wide and gulped down the rest of his meal. He seemed somewhat flustered as he got up to leave.
夜には帰る。では、行ってくるぞ。
The way he exhaled, he was holding his breath the whole time. Sure, take care. As I watched him leave, I wondered what was so important that he had to talk with Raoul about. I mean, at this point, yeah, talk to Gil.
はーい、いらっしゃい。
I needed to talk to Raoul. He'd responded to my message that I was here at his home.
邪魔するぞ。
久しぶり。今日はそっちの姿なんだ。元気だった？深海はどう？
Oh yeah, he knows he's the god. I'm like, wait a second, Celestia.
まあ、よくはなっているが。
それで、俺に相談って何？もしかして、神話の編纂者を探してるとか？
I'm here to ask you about relationship tips.
いや、すまない。そうではない。ルダスのお前を見込んで聞きたいことがあるのだ。実は。
Like, why would you, if you know about their love types, why would you not go to Gil, who is what? The devotional love type? Like, Luna's, whatever. Although I faltered with my explanations, I shared my concerns with Raoul. His eyes sparkled with enthusiasm.
俺にメイクラブの上手な方法を聞きたいの？いいよいいよ。何から知りたい？
He's so excited.
いや、そうではない。どちらかというと、自制心のつけ方を知りたいのだ。
Gain self-control.
自制心？
I know, he has no self-control.
ああ、欲望のコントロールの仕方と言えばいいだろうか。私は彼女を傷つけたくないのだ。
我慢したいってこと？
He's like, why would you want to do that?
なんで？
I know. Why?
なんでって当然だろう。私は獣のようにはなりたくはない。
A beast in front of her. Oh my goodness.
人間も動物の一種だよ。
だが私は神だ。主神ジュピターだ。このような欲望にかき乱され翻弄されるわけにはいかん。だから相談に来たのだ。
なるほどね。でも俺は翻弄されてもいいと思うんだけどな。だって人間はみんなしてるよ。それに人間の三大欲求の一つでしょ。だから我慢しなくていいんじゃない？そもそもそう人間を作ったのが神なんだしさ。つまり神自身がその欲求を肯定し謳歌するのがむしろ自然な摂理だと思うんだよね。
だがゼウスはあれのせいで多くの恨みを買っていた。
でも別にあの行為自体を恨まれてたわけじゃないよね。
どういう意味だ？
Maybe Raoul was the best person to go to.
恨まれたのはゼウスの愛がなくなったから。すぐ他の女の子のとこへ行っちゃうから独り占めしたい人たちがあれだけ怒ってたんだよ。つまり 一人の女の子に一途なら全然問題ないって。
まあそれはあると思うが。
Yeah, so you're not gonna be like your brother.
それにさ、あれだけ好き放題やっててもゼウスって人気だし、女の子にモテたし、よっぽどテクニシャンだったと思うんだよね。
チーて
じゃなきゃあんなに多くの人がゼウスの愛を求めないと思うんだよ。
いや、そこは主審としての風格とか顔がいいとかいろいろ理由はあると思うのだが。
でも俺本人見ちゃってからそれ以外の理由が浮かばなくなっちゃったんだよね。
I know, right? I don't think he's got looks going for him. Paul's comment implied that he didn't believe Zeus's powers or looks were the main reasons for his popularity with women.
これを聞けばゼウスはさぞや怒り狂うだろうが。
Oh, he can be enraged, it's fine. I couldn't believe how much he thought about mythology. He was truly a man of Ludus, the obsessed parasite.
ピーター君はあの子一筋なんでしょ。なら別に悪いことじゃないし、むしろ喜ばれるって。
そうだといいのだが。
不安そうだな。わかった。じゃあ俺がレクチャーするよ。自信がつけば安心してできるだろうし、そこの石像でも使ってね。
Practice for what? Do I even want to know this?
石像？
I know, right?
そう、どこがいいのかとか教えてあげるよ。俺があの主神ジュピターに教えるなんて今度こそ神話になっちゃうかな。
I'll show you what she might like. What? Raoul cheerfully approached the statue. Like, I don't want to. Why? Why? I saw nameplates with familiar names, though the statue looked nothing like the real gods. It was still embarrassing.
いや、それはなんか目のやり場に困るので、そっちの木でレクチャーをしてもらえないか。
Use the tree? Like, how is that less awkward? I mean, it's not the shape of a human, but still.
え、ユグドラシルがいいの？それ逆に高度すぎない？
Too advanced?
大丈夫だ。そこの木、ユグドラシルさんを彼女だと思い込んでみせる。
How would you do that? Why? I don't understand. So Jupiter is going to imagine that your Dristle is a tree while Raoul,
了解。じゃあまずはここの根っこを。
Are we really going to elaborate on this?
はあ、やっぱりやめてくれ。
Please, thank you. Oh my goodness. I'm glad that's over. This cringe-worthy lesson proceeded against my will. Indeed, continue. It got so awkward that I cut it short. In the end, I had him pick out an instructional book from the store for me to take home. Brow is just too much for you. I just can't handle it. Want to nibble beyond. Oh my goodness. Is this gonna be the episode where he
ただいま。
sounds exhausted? And all he did was watch him. This is why I'm reading Jupiter over Kohar. What was I even going to say? I don't remember. I was thinking Rao was too much for him. I think that's where it ended. Peter had been at Rao's place, but he looked terribly exhausted when he returned home. Welcome back, are you alright? You look tired. Oh, I was going to say, I wonder if this is going to... He's still freaking out. I was going to say, I'm wondering if this is going to be the episode where he finally tries to be brave. I mean, he's got the word nibble in it, and he's been wanting to bite her all this time, so... For some reason, Peter blushed when he saw me, but he eventually nodded.
ああ、問題ない。問題ないぞ。
It's going to drive you mad until you do something about it. Like, you can't look at her, you can't talk to her, you can't do anything. You better just confront it.
とにかく、着替えてくる。
Sure. Uh-oh. She's gonna find the book. Peter dashed into his room as if trying to run away from me. Then I noticed something had fallen onto the floor. It was a paper bag that he dropped. There was a small book peeking out of it. What's this? Curiosity got the better of me, so I took out the book. I was stunned when I read the title. What does it say? It's good techniques. I was trying to read the paperback. I'm like, what does that even say? Bookstore. I'm like cranking my head upside down to read this. Huh? He's been thinking about it. He should go confront him. I spaced out for a bit. After I quickly regained my composure, I slipped the book into the bag, left it on the floor, and retreated to my room. She ran away too. What was that? Men's a good technique? Were there many ways to interpret that? Oh, there were many ways. Oh, I'm like, it could have been a question too. Could have been a rhetorical question. Perhaps it was about techniques for skydiving or bungee jumping. No. Or gym tips for muscle gains. There were countless possibilities. You should just, oh my goodness, it's gonna irritate me. If the cover suggests otherwise, I wished I was wrong. Okay, good. And he met with Rao today. Also, type was Ludus. I knew that because I'd shot him with the Cupid's arrow previously. You shot Rao with Cupid's arrow? Oh, okay. At the end of Jupiter's room, whenever they were fighting Zeus. Got it. Ludus, the fun lover who engaged in casual flings, Peter was well aware of that. So was that why he'd reached out to Ralph for advice? Memories from that night suddenly came rushing back. I tried my best not to think about it. We've been living together for a while, without once mentioning that night. But there was no way I could forget it. What had happened could not be erased. But I guess it's not a big deal. I needed to pretend that I hadn't seen that book, because after considering that thought, I felt something was off. Huh? I questioned my own feelings. Why was I so intent on keeping things the same? I was confused about that reason. Was it because I didn't want any awkwardness, or was I hesitant to move our relationship forward? I needed to reconsider my feelings. I left my room with my thoughts still in a mess. When I returned to the living room, I saw Peter reaching down and picking up the paper bag on the floor.
危ない危ない。まさかこんなところに落としてしまっていたとは。彼女に見られていないといいのだが。
He took one look at me and turned pale. He definitely didn't want me to see that book. That was how I knew. Peter.
はあなんだ何もないぞ
Oh my goodness. When I called his name, he jumped and tried to hide the book behind his back. Lately, he'd been able to avoid transforming into Chii whenever he was surprised. It was definitely a result of his training. I did feel a little sad about it, but also happy that his efforts had paid off. He's been working so hard by himself. He truly wanted to change and worked tirelessly towards it. No doubt he went through struggles I hadn't seen. I'm sorry, Peter. I've been making you shoulder the burden all by yourself. My words tumbled out without a thought, and I noticed that he tensed up. The book he hid behind him peeked out a bit from the side.
いやこの本を見てしまったか
Yes, but just the cover. I'm sorry.
いや謝るのは私の方だ私こそだなすまなかったあの漫画
We had avoided the topic about that night, but Peter looked at me with determination, knowing that we couldn't run away from it any longer. The intensity of his gaze made my heart race. It was so intense that I had the urge to look away, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So instead, I stared directly into his eyes. His gaze told me so much more than his words could even capture. He was trying to convey his love for me. The moment I realized that, suddenly everything made sense. Now I get it. He'd been evading these feelings, but running wasn't the answer. I loved him, and if he loved me back, then nothing else mattered. When our eyes met, that connection was all that mattered. I loved Peter. It was that simple. That was exactly why I didn't want him to shoulder every burden. This wasn't just his problem, it was our problem. I wanted to share the burden with him, and so I decided to take a step towards him. Oh, I think it's embrace him. Oh no, it's say I love him. We're gonna embrace him first. I wrap my arms around him, pulling him close.
急にどうした？
He seemed to have dropped the paper bag again, revealing the book's suggestive title. I ignored it and hugged him even tighter. Peter, I love you. That's why I don't want you to look for answers outside of your own feelings.
Na, それだと。
Peter, I've been thinking about it for such a long time. I didn't know if I should have reciprocated on that day. So I pretended to forget about it, and I kept my distance, but it's not that I didn't like it. I didn't understand my own feelings. I was afraid we'd ruin what we had between us. But the truth is, I love you, Peter. I was no longer afraid of our relationship changing. I looked up at him with those thoughts in mind. Peter, do you love me? I think I can go back now. Eventually one of these buttons will work. Alright, say I love him. Peter, I love you. He seemed to have dropped the paper bag again, revealing the book's suggestive title. But I placed my arms around his neck to prevent him from turning around.
今は。
Please, don't look at that. She has the lovesick eyes.
だが。
Peter, I've been thinking about it for such a long time. I didn't know if I should have reciprocated on that day. So I pretended to forget about it, and I kept my distance, but it's not that I didn't like it. I didn't understand my own feelings, and I was afraid that we'd ruin what we had between us. But the truth is, I love you, Peter. I was no longer afraid of our relationship changing. I looked up at him with those thoughts in mind. Peter, do you love me?
当然だろう。お前が好きだ。お前を愛している。それだけは絶対だ。
He held my shoulders, his voice filled with urgency. It was like he needed to reassure me of his love. Because he loved me, he wanted to do that. It was supposed to be simple, but we'd overcomplicated it. I know, right? Jeez. I hugged him tightly, hoping to ease his tension. Then, Peter, can't you just do what you want?
え？
He turned pale, then suddenly red.
だが、したいようにって。それでは、お前の身に負担が。
I don't mind.
それでもよくはないだろう。
No, that's what I want. I want you to understand how I feel. I want to know your desires. Because I've fallen for you, I want to know everything about you, Peter.
だが、失敗するかも。
I'm okay with that too. What did he say? Oh, make a mistake. I didn't want our relationship to be unbalanced. I wanted us to face challenges together side by side. I didn't want us to hide things. I wanted to understand him better. Not only were we husband and wife, we were gods. We would be together for eternity. I know, like, if you're gonna be together for eternity, I mean, it'd be awkward and miserable this whole time if you don't do something. Even if it doesn't go perfectly, I want to experience it. We're married after all. He frowned, looking like he was about to cry. Despite that, I could tell that he felt relieved. I knew he'd been feeling helpless, so I hugged him, reassuring him that everything was okay now. Peter, I love you.
私もだ。私も。ずっとこうして、お前を抱きしめたかった。
To make up for last time, he hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe. He gently caressed my face, tilting my chin up. There was no more doubt or hesitation left between us. goodness.
リネット。
I was expecting a kiss, not this. Oh my goodness. Also, this is the first time you get to see his eyes. Wait, is he Jupiter? Yeah, he's Jupiter. I'm like, wait, his hair's long. I think he transformed. We enter the dark room. His hands moved restlessly as we undressed. The light turned on and he was there. I'd never seen him display so much desire and lust. We kissed numerous times and explored each other's bodies. In between those kisses, when that moment arrived, our fingers intertwined. Peter.
本当にいいのか?
Yes. My voice lowered out of shyness, but I squeezed his hand and nodded. I heard him breathe sharply.
だからお前は
He's so nervous, oh my goodness. The way he blushed, I could almost hear him exclaim his surprise, yet he still hadn't turned into Chii. It was the first time I'd seen him so assertive. That sorrowful expression was gone, replaced with a fierce and determined desire. He touched my lips, then took hold of my arm. My throat felt dry from the tension. It was the first time for both of us. But he was a god that had lived for millennia. I felt privileged to be his first. The feeling of embarrassment faded away, replaced by an overwhelmingly love for him. I wanted this to become a cherished memory for him, so I accepted him with a smile. Jupiter, I love you.
私もだ。愛している。愛している。リネット。
Closed my eyes as he kissed me repeatedly. Our bodies melted together from the heat of our passionate embrace. He was gentle yet rough, both sweet and spicy. The sensation was even more hot than spiced wine. Oh my goodness. But he still remained his form. Chii was nowhere to be found. His desire for me grew, and he yearned for more. All of his anxiety had dissipated. The intimate night extended until morning. Good, I didn't feel awkward reading that at all. I was worried. Since the title had the word nibble in it, and we went to go visit a drow, I was worried about how descriptive the scene was going to be. Oh, hi, Chii. Speaking of Chii, my pet snake is like, hello? I squinted at the brightness of the room's light, realizing that we had left the lights on.
ここは
So yeah, his hair is definitely short, so he was like full on Jupiter, let's go. I'm okay with this. He wanted his first head to be in his god form. For a moment I felt like I was back in Celestia, wrapped in security and bliss. After a brief pause, I noticed a warm body of my beloved sleeping beside me. Lynette, my beloved wife, was still asleep.
ああ、ようやく。
He sounds so happy and so relieved. It's kind of cute, actually. I felt that we'd finally become one. Memories of our previous night flowed into me, and my heart felt warm. I turned on the light to see her, and her embarrassed look was so cute. Careful not to disturb her, I wrapped my arms around her and exhaled deeply.
何千年も生きてきて初めてだ。こんな感覚を知ったのは。
I understood now why the gods were so fixed on the act of lovemaking. It was filled with happiness and warmth. It made you feel like you'd found the greatest treasure in the world. Certainly I'd been happy before this. I'd have been fine if I never experienced any of this. But I hadn't realized the depth of emotion that awaited me.
リネット。
It was as if our souls had connected on the deepest level possible. Her arms had become my sanctuary rather than Celestia. She stirred a bit in my arms, slowly opening her eyes and greeting me with the softest smile I'd ever seen. She whispered, "Good morning." Oh, that was cute. Upon waking, the first thing I saw was his smile. "Good morning, Jupiter."
ああ、おはよう、リネット。
I like seeing the characters happy. It makes me happy. He uttered my name as if savoring every syllable. Then he smiled. It was the happiest smile I'd ever seen him make. Seeing him happy, our actions last night finally felt real.
どこか辛いところはないか?
I know you didn't even bite her. No, I'm fine. To be honest, my body was hurting all over. Poor Lynette. She's not gonna lie to him. But the feelings of pleasure and satisfaction made it irrelevant. So I hugged him to let him know that I shared his happiness. I love you, Peter.
私もだ。リネット。
We embraced and I felt secure wrapped in his sturdy arms. I felt his heartbeat quick like a hummingbird. This warm awakening was filled with happiness. It felt like we had finally become husband and wife in the truest sense. It felt like our first morning together as a married couple. We stayed in bed for a while, dozing off. Eventually, it was past noon. That was when we started to feel hungry. So we decided to get delivery for the first time and order some pizzas.
はい、お待たせしました。ピザのお届けです。
We took the box from the delivery guy and I saw Peter's eyes light up.
おお、本当に届いたぞ。助かった。礼を言うぞ。
The way he says, oh, like it's so cute every single time. I just adore how he says that.
そりゃ仕事ですから。あとこちら、サービスのシャンパンです。メリークリスマス
Oh, really?
メリークリスマス
You don't know the phrase? Oh, Peter, it's December 25th. Oh, well, aren't you lucky to get pizza delivery on Christmas? Like, pizza deliveries are closed here.
そうだったのか。
After we checked the calendar, we looked at each other in surprise. I didn't realize, but the night we truly became one was Christmas Eve. I see, so that's what it was. I felt like Santa had given us a unique gift. Okay.
ということは、クリスマスマーケットも今日までか。ツリーの星が治っていると良いのだが。
I know you broke it. Want to check it out later?
そうだな。だがまずはピザを食べるとしよう。
But first, pizza.
ほら見てくれ。シャンパンにコーラまでサービスで入っているぞ。すごいな、ピザ屋というものは。
Oh, that's amazing. Let's open the champagne first.
では行くぞ。
I'm so glad his awkwardness is gone. Peter skillfully popped the champagne with his thumb.
メリークリスマス
Merry Christmas. Huh? Peter didn't get startled by the popping sound. Now he was even pouring it with glee. He used to become Chii just from the sound of party poppers. It seemed he no longer needed any training. I'll get the pizza ready. I opened the lid and the smell of fresh cheese enveloped us.
おお、いい匂いだ。
We ordered a margarita pizza, a seafood pizza, a salad, and an assortment of appetizers. Earlier, we'd taken a bath while waiting for our pizza, so they'd arrived in no time at all. Human culture never ceased to amaze me. Let's eat.
Ah!
I was gonna say, wait, did he take a bath with you as Chii? Or Peter?
うまい。
This pizza crust is crunchy. It's delicious. This tasted nothing like the pizzas from Cutie's Diner. Who knew it could vary so much between places? We'd only spent 4 years in the human realm during my studies abroad. There was still so much to learn about human culture.
このシーフードピザ、胡椒が効いているな。
My goodness. He was slurping that so hard, wasn't he? Oh, you're right. It's pretty spicy. Can you handle it?
これなら平気だ。うまいぞ。
That's good. He's growing up. Aww. Back then, the taste of spiced wine made him involuntarily drop a lightning bolt. Now he could enjoy spicy food alongside me. It seemed that Jupiter had completed his fair share of studies abroad in the human realm. I wondered when we returned to Celestia. To be honest, life in the human realm was so much fun, so we tried not to think about it too much. Casually brought up the source of Peter's training. Since you're okay with spicy food now, maybe you can drink that spiced wine from that shop?
あ、確かにそうだな。そういえばあれが特訓の始まりだったか。では、後でもう一度行って飲んでみるとしようか。特訓の成果を確かめるために。
And thus, we found ourselves back at the Christmas market. We intended to do the challenge from before.
おお、さすが最終日というべきか。今日は以前にも増して混んでいるな。
Let's hold hands.
うむ。
Blush. We intertwined our fingers and searched for that stall that sold the spiced wine that had startled Peter so much. It wasn't hard to find. We bought our drinks and moved to a more secluded spot.
では、飲むぞ。
Yes, good luck. At first he hesitated. Then he took a sip. For a brief moment he seemed to be panicking, but then I heard him gulp.
どうだ、大丈夫だったぞ。
But he exhaled, man. Considering it was just a drink, there was a strange tension, but he didn't morph into Chii, nor did he shoot any lightning. He really mastered it. That's great. Congratulations, Peter.
ああ、ありがとうリネット。お前の特訓のおかげだ。
He continued to sip the spiced wine.
うむ、すごくスパイシーで口の中がピリッとするが、慣れるとなかなかうまいな。
Our training began because he was so shocked from the flavor of the spiced wine and accidentally startled the humans with his lightning. Though he had overcome his fears, the fact that he no longer needed training made me feel a bit melancholic. Hey, Jupiter. I called him by his divine name, which caught his attention. He looked puzzled, still holding his drink.
どうしたのだ、そのように改まって。
Well, how long do you plan on staying here? He immediately knew what I was referring to. I wasn't just talking about the Christmas market. Peter's innocent gaze suddenly matured in a way that reminded me of Jupiter.
そうだな。特訓の必要ももうないか。では。
What?
ああ、リネット！
Oh my goodness, it's Gil. Huh? I turned towards a familiar voice.
ギル。
君にまた会えるだなんて思わなかったよ。でもなんでここにいるの？あ、そっか、クリスマスだから？いや、ギリシャ神話の神様だから関係ないか？
Long time no see, Gil. We're not here specifically for Christmas. We're just on vacation.
うむ、このグリューワインというものはなかなかにうまいな。
ああ、そっか。二人で遊びに来たんだ。そうだよな。そうでした。
He done. Why was he so excited to see her, and now that they mentioned vacation, he's all mopey? I don't get it. Gil, have you tried the spiced wine from that shop? It's so spicy and delicious.
そうなんだ。後で飲んでみようかな。いい着付け薬になりそうだし。
Snap out of it.
それより二人はいつまでこっちにいるの？ 12月31日はいる？
Huh? You haven't exactly decided yet.
12月31日がどうかしたのか？
実はラウルの家で年越しパーティーをしようって話になったんだ。パラサイト5のみんなで。
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
だから君たちがこっちにいるならさ、パーティーに来ない？
Yeah, Parasite 6. Let's go. Dang it, I have to wait. Happy vacation. I know I was gonna have to wait anyway. Happy vacation. It's literally the next episode. Like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Do I want to continue? I mean, the answer is yes, but now it's Friday. Like, I can't. I have to. I mean, I don't have to give until 11, but I really do want to read it. It's definitely going to be read tomorrow. Actually, no, it's not. Dang it. Unless I read it during the day. I can read it during the day. Actually, no, I can't do anything tomorrow. Tomorrow's D&D, and I'm trying to figure out how I can squeeze in a Jupiter episode. But I also have to edit Battlefield Waltz so it can come out Saturday by noon. And I can't do D&D, Jupiter, and Battlefield Waltz in the same day. D&D is not till 5, but I have to input a bunch of combat into my tablet. Like I have to get the encounters already and everything because I'm the DM. If I wasn't the DM, it'd be no problem. But I have to get that ready. I have to print out maps to some battle maps. I really want to see the reunion of the Parasite Six. I want it so bad. This episode, man. This episode was great. There's going to be a lot going into the bloopers from this episode for sure. Like, I just can't. Okay, anyways, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.